is the story of how two grown men, Shade of Dark Little Voices and King of the Canadian Hill, had to pull off the greatest heist ever. Sadly, as you can tell from the title, the heist job was over a sandwich. But not just any sandwich. The dislike sandwich. This is their story.
Shade, there you are. I really need your help with a heist job,
said King as he almost crashed into him.
King, my dude, can't just shout out things like that,
said Shade in a harsh whisper.
Now, slow down and tell me what happened.
Okay, so you're not going to believe this at all. Someone talked to YouTube and finally convinced them to bring the dislike button back. However, they trusted me to take it to YouTube headquarters, the Big Cheese. Cheese,
King said as he began to drool over the idea of a nice grilled cheese.
King, focus, man. Who trusted you with so much power?
Shade said while snapping his fingers to keep King of the Canadian Hill's attention.
All right, some guy in a suit?
King said with a shrug. Shade sighed at this and asked him to continue with his story.
Oh yeah, so I went and bought 2 sandwiches. One would be my lunch and the other would be a snack or something. I don't really remember. Anyway, as I was putting the condiments on the sandwich, 242 called me to be on her stream again. So I accidentally put the dislike button in the sandwich and figured that I'd eat it after talking to her. Well, when I got done talking to her, I went to eat it, but it was stolen,
King said, annoyed at this part of the story. Normally, Shade would respect how anyone would be pissed off by this, but the fact that a powerful button was now in a stolen sandwich left him in shock.
King, please tell me this is a bad joke. If word gets around that you lost something like that inside a stolen sandwich, they'll mount your head on the wall while putting the dislike button sticky note on your face.
Indeed. The one thing people tried to get YouTube to give back to the community was now in a sandwich, which left grounds for the greatest ass-whooping YouTube would ever see. Hell, it might even go viral.
Oh no, Shade, you gotta help me get it back from the Canadian Geese Cartel.
That's right, folks. Of all of Satan's children to have a now very important sandwich, the Canadian Geese Cartel had it in their webbed-footed clutches. It was definitely not something to honk about, as we've all seen the terror they could bring.
King of the Canadian Hill, of all the creatures to lose it to. Fine. I'll help you, but in exchange, you owe me your spare sandwich.
Deal. Thanks, DLV. You're a lifesaver,
King said in great delight that he wasn't going to become a Canadian cold case. That night, the boys went to the Canadian Geese Cartel hideout, which wasn't hard to find as soulless creatures like those didn't give a single fuck to begin with.
Okay, Dark Little Voices. How do we do this? We sneak in like ninjas? Go in all Rambo style? Oh, how about Mission Impossible? We can even come up with code names and theme songs.
Poor Shade tried not to put King back in the box, but the temptation kept eating at him.
King, unless you want to go back in the box until we reach 300 subs, in the friendliest way I can muster.
Shut the fuck up.
Now, did you bring the items?
Yep, I got a female goose suit and bike horn? What is this?
King said cluelessly.
We need a distraction, and it's that season.
Shade said without looking at King. Suddenly, all the pieces came together for King of the Canadian Hill.
Wait, you want me to?
Yep. You'll be taking one for the team, big girl.
he said, trying not to grin evilly.
Why can't you do it?
King said fearfully, not liking the plan at all.
Simple. Geese like big girls.
He said, having no idea if that was true at all. But it oddly enough worked to convince King to dress up like a large female goose and honk at the geese. The plan seemed to work, but unfortunately, there were female geese that got jealous of King's sexy feathered charm, and all hell broke loose. Feathers flew everywhere as King of the Canadian Hill screamed for dear life up and down random hills.
I knew I shouldn't have skipped leg day.
King screamed as he kept trying to outrun the geese cartel that were hot on his trail. It took everything in Shade's power not to break out laughing, as he could have easily gone in, gotten the sandwich, and came out since he was a dark aberration. But he figured he needed a good laugh. He was a dick like that, but I still love him. Anyway, Shade slipped into the hideout and was about to grab the sandwich when the biggest, meanest, and well-built goose the world had ever seen stepped out of the shadows. For the sake of time, and Shade not wanting to type all of this extra dialogue, we're going to act as if this goose spoke English.
Well, well, well. Shade of dark little voices. Didn't think you would try to steal from me. And yet, here we are.
The Godfather Goose said as he glared at Shade, but Shade didn't stand down. He simply glared at the Godfather Goose and said,
That sandwich isn't big enough for the two of us.
The Godfather Goose nodded in agreement. They stared each other down before Godfather Goose gave a mighty honk. Every second seemed like a lifetime as they both stretched for the sandwich, inch by inch, dirty look against dirty look. The two went for it. Just then, King of the Canadian Hill accidentally crashed into the wall like the Kool-Aid Man and ran over the Godfather Goose, killing him instantly upon impact.
Oh damn. Is he going to be okay, eh?
Nope. I'm pretty sure you killed him. Now let's get the hell out of here.
Shade said as he randomly pulled out a cowboy hat, grabbed the sandwich, and rode off on the back of King's as they simply trotted into the sunset. The other geese gave off gang signs to show mad respect for the two biggest idiotic assholes that ever walked around Canada with a sandwich in their hands. After cleaning off the button, Shade realized something.
King. This is just a pin of the dislike button. Where's the real dislike button?
Oh, I didn't tell you. They were giving these out at the protest that I happened to walk past.
Just then, King realized how much he had fucked up and began running as Shade pulled out the box that he had trapped King in a month ago.
Shade, wait. We can talk about this. I don't want to be in that box again.
Get back here, King of the Canadian Hill!
And that's how Dark Little Voices and King of the Canadian Hill pulled off the greatest heist of a sandwich there ever was. As for me, I wanted no part of this bullshit. But damn if it wasn't the funniest story my husband had me witness through the skull. Good night, everyone.
Hello, our creatures of darkness. We hope you enjoyed our silly tale for this evening. A big shout out goes to King of the Canadian Hill for voicing, well, himself in this rather comedic story of ours. I know it's not our usual scary or rather spooky tales or anything really too dark. However, we wanted to be in the holiday spirit, and we thought, well, let's give this one comedic piece a go. If you liked it, remember to hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and remember to send that bell notification to the darkest pits of hell. Also, if you enjoyed having King of Canadian Hill on our channel, make sure to go to the description, and his links will be in the description below. Otherwise, thank you to our lovely Patreons, Lucy Rosado and Justin Rosado. Remember,
We're always watching.